All right, we're keeping our streak of guests on Lulz rolling. Today we have the Best Ball Mania 2 champ, Liam, in the house, going to talk to us about some chess and poker scandals, about what it's like to sun run as a Bills homer. Maybe we get into his potential boxing match with a fellow DFS tout. All of that on today's Lulz.
Does he think? I think he thinks this. He thinks this is a go. Vegas Dave thinks this is a go.
Hot naked girls doing yoga.
What?
Why don't you just win like a man?
Random.org. Type in 1 for yes, 2 for no, and let the DFS gods pick for you.
And I'm absolutely begging you not to dupe us. Please don't dupe us.
Welcome to the show, Liam. You know, you've been on Ship Chasing. We've done best ball shows. This is your first time on Lulz with us, right?
Yeah, I mean, I reached out because I know you guys have a strictly $1 million winner has to reach out. I figure I'm the first best ball Millie champion to come on. Got to represent best ball nation out here. And I know you guys are not reaching out for guests, so I appreciate the content. I know, like this is the only space to talk about some of this DFS feuds and whatnot. So figured I'd come on and contribute,
Yeah, Brian, when we started the show, did we ever, I think the show has become what I think we wanted it to be, but I didn't know if we would ultimately end up being the DFS sports betting drama clearinghouse like we've become.
Yeah, no, that wasn't my idea either. I just thought, well, the main thing, honestly, was it's been a while, Pete. Back then, too, there was not a ton of content, period, that was entertaining at all. I think Stochastic just started, right? There was no ETR. And I'm like, these shows all stink. No offense. I'm not picking on anyone specifically. So I'm like, well, why don't I just do one? And I thought Pete was really entertaining. But I like podcasts, which is just people talking, which is just normal people fucking talking normal. I can't stand the cookie cutter structure in ESPN and corporate stuff like that. So I know I wanted that with no pick stuff. No pick bullshit. That's all I wanted. But the drama stuff is whatever. It's fun.
It's fun, yeah.
Because like you said, this is what happens too. Like when there is interesting stuff that pops up, it's like even a lot of these sites don't even have a forum to have a discussion like that. There is the pick shows and, strategy. And then there will be the genre of I'm going to interview players like Neil Orfield over at Stochastic will interview top DFS players, stuff like that. But there aren't a lot of shows that are willing to kind of talk about the nitty gritty, the water cooler talk around the stuff. So I feel like there's at least a demand for it. People seem to enjoy it on some level.
Yeah. They're also in competition. So sometimes they don't want to acknowledge each other and stuff like that. And we don't care. We'll talk about any of the sites or if they're talking about a strat, we do it with strategies too. Surprisingly, even strategies ideas can bring up a lot of drama in the gambling world. So
I've been seeing that.
Yeah. Even that can stir the pot a little bit. It's almost always in good fun though anyway. So I like it. People seem to like it, Pete.
I think so. What Liam, or what did, when you initially reached out to us, this was right after, I believe, was it our episode with petty theft? And we were talking a lot about the poker and chess scandals. And for those of you who don't know, Liam has a very big chess background, was a chess coach. Used to do some stuff for chess.com, chesskids.com. What is your take on everything going on in the chess world?
Yeah, I used to work for chess.com, but I want to be clear, I do not have any inside info of the company. I was a small, I used to coach chess. I was a teacher in New York City, and I'm a good chess player, but I'm not, a professional chess player to me is there's 10 in the world. So anyone else is not a professional. So, and I'm nowhere close to even grandmaster or even master, which is, it just takes a lot of work, honestly. It's pretty exponential. And so, obviously I follow chess though. And, I play daily online, play Blitz. And this Hans Niemann guy, the kid embroiled in this drama, I first came aware of him when I was a coach, and, I brought my kids, went down to grade nationals in Florida. I was in New York City, and this kid came and kind of stuck out to me because he was like a senior that year, and I think at the tournament, you have like 7 rounds, and then you also have 7 rounds of blitz, and then you also have 7 rounds of what they call bug house, which is team chess. And he gave this like Michael Jordan-esque quote where he's like, "I'm gonna go 21-0 or something," and like he's a very brash kid, like he's frankly rude. And I mean, for those who don't know, and I think this is similar in many fields, but there's not a lot of normal people, quote unquote, above a certain ability in chess. I would say master, just because the sacrifice you have to give in your life to reach that ability in chess is insane. So like, you can read about some of these chess grandmasters of old. Like these are people who literally cannot cook for themselves. Like they could do nothing but chess. And I mean, like for me to reach a certain ability of chess, it's 8 hours a day of chess, which is like, I'm not willing to do that. And so,
I just say I can't cook and I can't play chess for shit either way. So I guess I have a big mistake there, huh? Should have gave up that. Yeah.
But like I think you guys know what I mean. I think we see this with DFS too. Like some of the work people put into, especially like the mathematical side, they're probably not getting to out there in the social field or whatnot, and that plays out.
Are you talking about someone on this show? Someone who's never been on a vacation before? That just hides away in his lake house and runs the simulations, Liam?
No, I think Brian actually is very like, I find Brian very approachable, a guy I would have a beer with in a bar, like he doesn't come off to me that way, but I can't say I've watched every episode of Lowell's ever, like I'm kind of newer to the Twitter scene and whatnot.
What would you say? Because you mentioned these guys being pretty quirky and it makes sense, but Magnus, he's considered like an incredible ambassador, right? Like entrepreneur, like good communicator. He's an outlier as far as like chess grandmaster social skills, right?
Yeah, I mean, yes and no. There's like a Netflix doc out there with like Magnus kind of growing up, and if you watch that, like you can very clearly see these things I'm talking about, where I think he's done a lot of growth as an adult. And I mean, I think he is sharp and been coached kind of like how to act in front of the media. And I mean, he's like a god in Norway, right? Because he's a Norwegian grandmaster. Like it's kind of cool. Like chess is on TV there, just like when Bobby Fischer was playing in like the Cold War, like that game when he played the Russian, like that game was on in bars over like the MLB World Series. Like that was like the big news at the time. And so, I mean, with Magnus, doing this thing to hands, like one of the very likely outcomes, reasonable outcomes, is he short-circuited and he freaked out and he just didn't like this hands guy and thought he was so much better than him that he could not accept that he lost. Now, I think it's also very likely he was cheated. So I see some people asking my chess rating and whatnot, and Alex's Baker's question's hilarious. I'm like 2,000 FIDE, and like 1950 USCF or whatnot. I'm gonna start my chess content soon enough here. Kind of make a push for master. Which is like 2,200. But, like I don't know, when I was a teacher, I grew up in New Hampshire playing chess. So I was kind of fortunate, I feel like, to not have like a coach that was like chess. Like the kids I taught in elementary school were better than I was in high school. And when I was in New York City and teaching it, I went from like 1,400 to about 2,000 very quickly, just from being around stronger players, playing them, watching content, doing tactics, whatnot there.
What do you think is actually the more juicy scandal, the chess one or the poker one? And then assign a percentage to the likelihood of there being actual cheating in both of said scandals.
I think, and I play poker too. Like I'm not a professional poker player. I went on the WSOP, was lucky to, return with a profit, but the poker one's really enthralled me. The chess one is too, just because like neither side is backing down. And I personally think cheating occurred in both. I think the poker one is so fun because you have this like Joe Ingram podcast, and then you have people that are doing the opposite of what they should be doing. Like this Nick Vertucci character who like effectively, it seems, allegedly, I guess I need to say, ran these like Trump University type scams where he's like scamming grandparents out of their like, retirement funds. And like, he is like, he's supposed to be investigating his stream for cheating. And he keeps on releasing these like PowerPoint type slides, like with writing, where like the other day he's like, the investigation has found the identity of Poker Karen, which is like some Twitter troll account. And people are like, are you fucking serious, dude? Like, you're supposed to be investigating your stream for cheating, and this is what you're spending your resources on. And then just like the Joe Ingram stream with like all the call-in shows. Like, I think that's so fun. Like, just having, like, imagine doing fantasy football. Like, I'm kind of inspired and just having pure randos call in. Like, you're going to hit some gems. You're going to hit some like, ooh, yikes, hang up, The poker one, obviously, I mean, the chess one obviously is interesting too, because I play chess, and I don't think it's, like this Adelbeed allegation, I think like that clearly didn't happen. But what's very possible, and the thing is, and I don't think people that don't play chess understand, is you could literally have like a buzzer in your shoe, and all that would need to be done is you get buzzed in an important moment where you need to find the move that you would not think of. And the person cheating is good enough that they may not think to find that move on their own, but if they were told to find the move, they can find that move. And what does that do to your rating? It probably boosts it by like 200 points. Like it's crazy. And like, so people think it would need to be like Morse code telling the moves or anything. That's not it. Just like in poker, it could just be like a buzz to let you know, like, you're winning. So like, it's just like, and it's impossible to like catch that with like statistical analysis or whatnot. That like,
I was thinking you buzz and then you hold your hand over the piece and then it stops on the one you're supposed to use or something like that.
No, it's like, it's not like that at all. It's like, this guy's very good at chess. There's a move you just wouldn't think to find. And like, I don't know. I'm kind of tilted because I watched
Well, how can a buzzer tell you the move that you wouldn't think to find?
No, so you would obviously have a friend with a computer engine plugging in the moves, and it would just, I mean, it could be complicated.
Yeah, but I'm saying, how would the player know? Okay, do the queen to blah blah blah.
Because they're good enough that it just like in chess to get better, there's these things called tactics where when you know there's a tactic to find, you can find that. But the hard thing in chess is there's no one sitting over your shoulder telling you, find the move that's winning right now. Like, you don't know that move exists. And so if someone is helping you, letting you know that, hey, there's a move that you can find right now to be winning, then you're good enough to like sit there and look through all these bizarre moves you might not otherwise look at. And so, like there's this Ken Reagan guy who's like running statistical analysis, but like, you just can't catch that over the board. And like, Hans admitted to cheating as a kid and online. It's clearly come out he's cheated a lot more online. But like, there's no way to prove he did cheat over the board without accomplices coming forward or something like that. And what's crazy is like, even if he did cheat, he's still very, very good at chess and could even become like world champion caliber. He just, again, like when you attach your identity to chess, and not to mention like the financial opportunities. Like, I remember I went out to Vegas and I played, they have this like chess tournament every year, and I played poker after, like 1-2 or something. And there was like a top 100 rated player in the world from Russia. And I asked him, I said, hey, like, do you make a living playing chess? And he's like, no, I'm not good enough. I need to teach. Top 100 in the world, like he cannot make a living like playing tournaments. And, it's just like, there's no sponsorships for top 100 in the world. It's incredibly top heavy field.
Nothing a couple anal beads couldn't fix.
Because one thing that's so crazy about the poker scandal is how brazen it was and kind of how dumb they were to pick that spot, right? Like, if you had a good thing going with cheating, you would not want to do it in that spot and draw a light to what you're doing. It sounds like this chess cheater was much smarter about his cheating. I guess I'm just wondering, how brazen was it what he was doing? Or was he flying as close to the sun as Robbie and co?
It's weird because like in chess to reach titles such as Grandmaster and whatnot, you have to reach a certain rating and you have to reach these norms. And the security at like a normal chess tournament is zero, absolutely zero. Like there's nothing really stopping you from taping a cell phone to the bottom of a toilet or whatever, right? Like in the Marshall Chess Club where I used to play, where he reached several of his norms. It does seem to me, just like using intuition, like looking at these results, that like he was cheating in these important events where, again, it's very important to get these titles and whatnot because it's such a top heavy thing. So like to get the financial backing of investors and whatnot, like Rex Sigfield is this billionaire in the US who like supports chess players, but like whatever, if you're like a top 25 junior, see you later, kid. Like, good luck. And I mean, but if you're a top 10 player in the world, it's like, holy shit, we could have a US world champion. Like, let's go all in and support this kid. So I don't know. And it's like, I see both sides because everyone hates this guy because he's rude to them. So like people were quick not to want to back him up because they don't like him, you know, like they don't like him because he's an asshole, which that doesn't mean you cheated. But I do think just like looking at a lot of stuff and I don't know, some stuff that probably is going to come out later. Like I got friends in the chess world. Like I think it's likely, but will we ever have the proof? Maybe not.
The unveiling of the beads. We found them.
Well, like, so like the beads is an example. Like I believe that originated from this grandmaster, Eric Hansen, part of Chess Bra. And Eric Hansen does not like Hans Niemann. And so he kind of like said something like that. Like, oh, you know, like maybe his anal beads giving him buzzes. And so like this guy who doesn't like him said that. And then like this newspaper took like this clickbaity thing, like took that as the headline. And next thing I know, like everyone I know that knows me is like, how about those anal beads, Liam? Like chess world's getting crazy. Yeah. I'm like,
all right. What would be my chess rating? I famously did a few chess streams with Liam last summer. I was an absolute disaster of a player. How much do these beads boost my my rating?
With his buzzer thing that he said earlier, is it the same as it is now or lower? Like I don't understand how that helps anybody.
Well, no. So like here's an example.
Feels good, Brian.
Pete, your puzzle rating is higher than your chess rating because your puzzle rating is, you know, I need to either find checkmate, I need to find a free capture. Yeah, just like Neil's saying here, I need to find something to be winning. Like you know that exists in the position. But when you play games, you're like, holy shit, like what's going on here? You know, like
dealing with the chat chirping me.
Yeah, you get stressed. You don't know there's a winning move to find. And I wanted to
imagine I'm getting a rectal massage to kind of comfort me during this play.
Yeah.
I mean, it has to be a net positive for my game, Liam.
Right.
I think you know, like someone of your ability, like whatever. Like I think we're more talking about like above master level. Okay. That's where it really like even my level.
Why wouldn't you just have a system that directs their moves? Who would win in a head to head for rolls? You or Chess is okay in a chess match?
I think I'm a stronger chess player than him, but I have no idea what his chess ability is. And I mean, chess is not something you really gamble on.
He said on the show, actually. I can't remember.
Oh, yeah.
That was a while ago.
I think I looked it up.
Check the time.
I looked up Osimo's chess history. Had some rough tournaments as a kid, quit. I mean, it's tough in chess, man.
That has to be the most DFS shit talking thing ever. I looked up Osmo's old child.
No, I like Alex a lot, but like I said that to him previously.
Quit after a few rough matches.
No, I mean,
as a kid.
Like imagine being a high schooler and you have to sit through being beat by an 8-year-old. Like that happens all the time in chess. Like it's just hard for adults to deal with. A lot of people I think miss the context where it's like Hans is the fastest growing player in history at a certain age, but we have to add the caveat that fucking COVID was happening right then. So no one was going out in the world. So it's realistic that you have the time to, yeah. And I mean, look, obviously I like chess.com a lot. I plan to stream there, but the optics is bad where Magnus Carlsen and them are merged. And then a lot of this just seems like, I don't know, like saving grace in the public eye. And it doesn't prove that he cheated over the board, but maybe they have evidence they're not allowed to release yet. Like they're not going to release something unless they confidently know. And what I do know about chess.com's online cheat detection is like they would go to court over that. It's very confident.
What are people's take? Because with the poker thing, I was hearing, there were people who were going to play poker because of this story. It's in the news. And, they always do the, is this good for poker? Like, what is the take? Is this scandal good for chess? It's undeniably put them in the limelight and people talking about chess more than they ever have.
Yes. Great for the content creators. Like they have something to talk about. Like, just like we saw the Queen's Gambit blow up chess. Like, I don't know if I'm gonna let like whatever chess.com like times 5 its user base or something when the Queen's Gambit dropped in COVID, which makes sense. They did a lot of sharp shit. Like they had like those general streamers such as like Ludwig and Mr. Beast and whatnot doing chess tournaments because a casual fan does not care to watch. And I wanted to do that with like DFS personalities. Like how fun would it be to have a chess tournament with like Pete and Brian and the ETR guys and the Run Pure guys and whatever. Like it would just be fun doing something like that.
We just had that tournament. Pete won, by the way.
No, a chess tournament. Like something you guys aren't experts in.
Chess.
I prefer something more arbitrary that's voted on by Brian's followers on Twitter, honestly.
Yeah.
Hey, I don't make the rules on
this
this
round.
stream.
After the second round is kind of all.
What
do you think? I got a question. Do you think there's any cheating going on in DFS? You're kind of an outsider in DFS a bit, right? What do you think?
Absolutely. Like, I mean,
I like it.
Like obviously in the small field shit, but then I don't know, like no shot at anyone, but a bunch of the guys probably at like I don't know, is it cheating if like one content site all agrees, hey, like let's all split 10%, and that's effectively like getting more entries, isn't it? Especially
you mean all playing the same lineup and that are the best plays and duping? No, that's encouraged.
No, not that. More like doing 1,000 unique ones or something. Like I don't know. And then
like the Bachelor scandal, like writ large, is what you're saying.
Yeah. Well, and what I want, and what I want to say also is like what came out of the poker thing, I think is good in that like stream security is being questioned. Like, what do we know about DraftKings security? Like, is it feasible that someone can see ownership percentages in a contest up until lock? Is it feasible that someone can hack into that? Like, I don't know. Like, that probably could be happening too. Not that guarantees you like shipping contests. I mean, this Utical guy, back-to-back milli makers, has that happened before?
Did he win a milli back-to-back?
He won the 444 2 weeks ago, and then he won the 555.
Was that for $1 million, the 555?
Yes.
It was?
Utical, if you want to come on the show, Liam just called you a cheater, I think, is what.
No, I think that guy's got the almanac. And then he got second in the 250K 888 basketball last night.
Yeah, he did yesterday. I saw that. Run Pure Sports subscriber took first, by the way, Pete. So,
wow, congratulations.
Yeah.
I think the thing too, though, right? Like with the chess and the poker, right? Like it's a more binary outcome for like the cheating. Like that knowledge almost ensures that you're going to win. With where the DFS, it doesn't ensure. Like it increases your odds, but like there's still so much variance into realizing that you have to really think, is organizing an operation like that, the DFS tournaments are so top heavy. Like if a cabal of people were putting in GPP entries, it would still be really hard to realize your equity on that cheating.
I agree, but like I don't know, like this 444 field, it's like 600 entries, a mil to first. I don't know, like all these top dudes know each other from these live finals. Part of me thinks all their egos make them hate each other. Like we've kind of seen that, like all the top poker players hate each other. That's kind of coming out. But maybe they're like, hey, like I got my 17, you got your 17, but like it doesn't really make financial sense to really be doing that for like what you're saying. Like it's just such a big investment and you have to win. pretty much like, I don't know. What do you think, Brian? Do you think cheating's happening in tournaments? And if so, how?
I think there's some shenanigans going on. Like there's always someone trying to cheat. Always something. I don't know what it is or how it would manifest itself. The idea of like the syndicates has been around for a long fucking time. I don't know. It wouldn't shock me. I don't like. You brought up you to cow in the middle of a cheating conversation, so you are de facto.
No, I did that. I did that. That was I'm ADHD. That was just jumping.
That also doesn't make any sense. If he's in a syndicate, why would he always be the one taking first? But I think the top guys are competing against each other. Maybe some of them are sharing roles, but that's probably. I would say that's probably it for most of the known people.
I mean, equity swapping is not cheating, right? Like, but equity swapping where you say, hey, I'll play Pat Mahomes lineups, you play Josh Allen lineups, I'll play Justin Herbert lineups. That is cheating because now it's colluding with equity swapping.
What's the difference of that, what you just described for DFS, to equity swapping? You hear it a lot with like the German crushers in these poker high rollers and like soft playing each other at tables because like incentives aren't. Yeah. Or they are aligned in a way that would encourage that. To me, that's almost the same as like you play Josh Allen, I'll play Patrick Mahomes.
I think it's worse.
Well, you can like chip dump in poker. Like, what do you do once the tournament starts? I mean, I guess you could talk if you notice that you and your buddy have live teams. You could be like, hey, who's your late swap guys? I don't know. Like, I don't really stress it. I'm trying to sun run these tournaments. Like, I'm doing like 1 entry and 2 in the 4-4-4. Like, great. Like maybe they're all cheating, but I'm just trying to big first once.
Yeah, it's hard to cheat in DFS like that, like from those kind of angles. So especially in these large fields, it doesn't matter. It doesn't make a whole ton of sense. You're more like just gaining equity by putting in good lineups versus donkeys than anything else. So I don't know. I'm thinking more of like what you were saying before, someone getting information behind the scenes or some shenanigans going on where they move themselves. Who knows? That post lock switching players, shit like that. And this is completely making up fantasy world things here. I don't think that any of that stuff's happening.
It's good questions to ask though. Like we should ask that to like, how do we know that doesn't occur? I don't like, how do we know that DraftKings doesn't have bots that fills overlay?
It's the same way that in chess and poker that the guys are caught. It's the players themselves who are the best cops. And just really quickly on all this cheating stuff, just in real life too, like just because you get convicted of a crime by a jury or peers doesn't mean you're guilty, right? But we just go, no, he was guilty of a crime. There's just like, there's never going to be an ending to these. I don't think. It's just like their peers are the ones saying that 60-40, 80 to whatever it is, they're guilty, and that's going to be the end of it, in my opinion. How this all plays out. Go ahead, Pete.
I'm curious. Like as a thought experiment, say I'm in a 100-person tournament with Chipotle and Papa Gates, and under 2 scenarios, let's say they are working together, smoothing out their exposures across their lineups, or they're both just great players that aren't working together. For me personally, versus them in the field working solo or together, am I at a disadvantage if they're working together versus 2 great players working solo? Does that question make sense?
Yes, because they could be duping themselves, which hurts themselves and helps you.
But can I say that so they have duped themselves? They do dupe themselves. So that's not accurate. And there's so many combinations in large game slate sports like football, like Sunday football and NBA or anything, PGA, full field PGA, etc. There's just so many different combinations that that they easily could use the same set of data and not dupe each other. I mean, I could do that with my own process. like come up with the same, like 2 different 150 sets easily without like trying to. And so like, I think they just have this very similar process. They hired the same programmers. In fact, I know they did. He told me. And so they just, they occasionally dupe. They're not doing some grant, like they came up with the same, the same projections or however they come up with it over years of doing it. At this point, maybe they like edit and change it on their own and then run it through the same thing they built after that. But you don't, this idea that like Liam just said of like you do Pat Mahomes and I won't, it doesn't really work like that. That doesn't really matter anyways. Like there's so many combinations.
Like, I don't know how that hurts me if they're doing the you do Mahomes.
There's so many combinations of Mahomes and Allen, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It does not, that would not matter. It's illegal because it's illegal to the terms and services. So it's still illegal according to DraftKings, and they would get booted if someone proved that. But it doesn't matter in these large fields.
I don't think it's something worth stressing over. But I like, of course, it does not help you if people are not competing against, like, if you enter one Pat Mahomes lineup and, like you and whatever, 2 people were going to do 2 Justin Herberts, but because they're not, because they spoke, they're like, I'm going to do the Justin Herbert, I'll do these other quarterbacks. Like, now you have to compete against these other quarterbacks where maybe you wouldn't. Like, maybe that person would eat more chalk or whatever, but like, I don't think it's worth stressing in
significant portion, small, tiny portion of.
Yeah, it's small, but
it doesn't matter. And you're assuming they have the nuts too. Like they might be just putting in donkey laps and losing even more money. But just to Chipotle, like I think the more obvious ones, or like not obvious, but like more debatably clearly cheating is the 3-man stuff. Like so, like I just wouldn't play in any 3-mans nowadays if I was anyone listening to the show. Go ahead.
And I know I do just want to put it on record. A Raven and I did have the exact same lineup in the baby spy this week. We were duplicated. I want to say that we both hired the same developers, the same guys who were able to run the blended ceiling optimal. Really great developers. I can recommend them to you if you need. And we aren't working together. It was just 2 kind of brilliant minds arriving at the hashtag best plays independently. I just want to
likely story. Wait, is that buzzing I hear under your seat, Pete?
Oh, jeez. No. Glad I could put that to rest.
I wanted to say back to what Brian said, that like people might have heard of Postlegate where he like no doubt cheated and they couldn't even convict that guy, the crotch theory optimal dude, like who had like the blue box. So like, no, you're right. It's kind of like a conviction in the jury of your peers, and
even a real conviction is.
Yeah.
You just have the legitimacy of the government behind it, so everyone just goes, yeah, okay. Thank you, Marcus, of course.
So, I don't think it's anything to worry about for the people playing
Marcos. Sorry,
single entry. Even like the 4K milli that I play. Like, I'm not stressing cheating because, like, I agree with Pete's larger sentiment where it's like, I'm trying to hit the nuts. So, like, whatever, everyone's process is probably sharper if they're, like, swapping together, but that doesn't mean that's not cheating. That's just leveling up together.
Yeah, swapping's not cheating in DFS for sure. In poker, I think it's definitely cheating, but I mean, I don't know.
It needs to be disclosed. Yes, I agree.
Yeah. Because like obviously you're going to soft play a guy who's got a significant portion of you at the final table.
Happens in the main event every year where people equity swap late.
Yeah, some of these things, like Brunson said years ago, Doyle. Like you can't stop people from doing something they can agree to in the bathroom afterwards or beforehand, because you could just take the money and I'll give it to you afterwards. There's nothing they can do about it, but that doesn't make it right or anything. But
all right, Liam, let's get into it. What happened with you and Ship My Money? You guys were going at it. Was it Sunday night?
Yeah. So I think you should pull up the second tweet I sent you first to give a little backstory here.
Wearing my Vegas Dave shirt, by the way. Speaking of not cheaters.
Hang on, let me see that. I need more thumbnails for you, Brian. Can you do this? Yeah, and just pose right there. Perfect. New thumbnail. Let me mark that down.
Grab that guitar too, man. Get this thumbnail rocking.
All right. Now that we got that done. All right, hang on. I'm pulling up. This is the context here.
Yeah. So I was visiting a friend in Nashville.
Siege
and-
is your friend?
No. I was, I mean, yeah, he is now. Yes, I like Siege, and I like Adam. So this came out of nowhere.
He was willing to sit at the same table with you, even though you have less than 30K Twitter followers.
Yeah, well, so here's what happened. Like, I think I did something that not many people would do, where whatever, I was visiting a friend. I was flying back to Florida from Nashville, and I think the NBA live final was in Tennessee or something. What I think it was NBA. So they were there for that. And I had seen, obviously I knew Siege from Twitter, and I think I saw Adam on Twitter too, because he's like shit posting and trolling a lot, which like I generally find funny. And so I noticed them and I was like, oh, I might as well walk up, introduce myself. So like I walk up, they're having a drink, and I don't remember exactly what I say. I think I say like, hey, are you guys like on DFS Twitter? And Adam like turns around like freaked out, which makes sense because like, you know, these like having like some down bad dude approach these guys who, I mean, I assume Adam's got a lot of money, but I have no idea. Like it could be some whatever, totally deranged person. So I said, hey, like I won the underdog thing. Figured I'd just say hi. We had a beer. We both went our ways. And I posted this. Flash forward to Sunday. And I have this betting show, which is like purely for fun with my cousin. And he, like, right as slate ended, he tweeted this out. And I, as a joke, I said, like, my loyal followers could read between the lines and know I meant like 1 million units on the Bills, fade the other games after having like a
classic Liam Homer bit right there. Yes.
Yeah, like a joke. And so and this was right as lock ended, right? So it was right where people know whether they won or lost. And Adam wrote, imagine being you and finding it hard to laugh at yourself since you're born a clown. And I just wrote.
Can I ask you a question before we go? Why would you clearly antagonize Adam with that tweet? I don't get it.
Yeah, I mean, that's like, by the way, this show gets like maybe 100 views a week. It's like my least viewed content on my YouTube, which like I'm doing like 2 shows a week. And he wrote this, and I was just like, this is out of left field. Like, I was like, are you down bad? And then, so my take on the situation, and I'd like you guys to weigh in, is I'm assuming Adam lost a lot of money on DFS because it was right at lock. And I've been there. Like, I got destroyed weeks like 1 and 2 in NFL. And then I think he was really drunk. And then I think maybe he was trying to antagonize. And by the way, I had like 6 cups of wine. I was pretty drunk myself. I think he was trying to maybe segue and antagonize me into like doing a heads up for rolls, something that he thought he had a big edge in. And so I don't think it's a good look for, so I wanted to add the context here. I don't think it's a good look to be like the internet tough guy and be like, hey, do you want to fight? But since he was trying to be this like big alpha dick swinging guy who's like, he like above this comment, he said something like, he said something like, I'm trying to set up future W's. So I was like, okay, I'll give you a chance to be this big alpha and book a big win right now. I'll box you for 100K. And I should add context. I think Adam is tilted that I keep doing these Gabriel Davis tweets because these math guys can't get over the fact that he doesn't get a big target share. And like, as a joke, I like keep doing a tweet like, tag the Gabriel Davis haters because he's such a divisive guy, which like it doesn't make any sense. He's attached to Josh Allen. He gets open deep, catches touchdowns. So I'm assuming Adam's tilted. He probably faded the Bills or something. I'm doing that. I'm tweeting like Tyquan Thornton, which like saved my Sunday because I had like 10 Tyquan teams and like the 555. And
so can I put some context here really quick?
Yeah.
So I was reading this thread, of course, live sweating. And while right before you guys were bickering, I don't know what the timestamps were on that, but he was in second in the millie.
Yeah.
In the 555?
I don't remember which one, but he was in second in a millie. I saw him up there, I remember. And so maybe he wasn't so happy that he didn't win the millie. He might not
That's
have had
great,
a
but
bad-
you're like, how bizarre is it to come at the dude making a joke on this fucking like, and look, like Adam's version of apologizing was in the morning saying "Love you, Chess Liam," but like, I mean, he looked like a. Look, I mean, no offense, like he looked again, just like I'm assuming. I mean, I have no idea. I'm assuming he gets down like $5 million action a year, maybe I'm assuming he's like a DFS professional, probably shooting for like a 10% ROI. I know he works for Stochastic, but I'm assuming that's like 1099. Like, I don't think that's a salary position. Maybe you guys know more than me. I mean, you're going to come at me. You're going to try to be this big dog trying to goat me into like some heads up for rolls thing. I gave him a chance. I said, great, let's box for 100K because I knew I was a lock to win that. And I would not challenge someone. Like, I'm not like, I don't think I'm the toughest dude out there. And he's like, and then he's trying to like angle it and be like, oh, of course you would say boxing. Like, and so I said, great, I prefer MMA. Let's do that instead. And then he like goes off on this totally left field. He's like, I grew up in PG County, Maryland. You don't know how hard it was to like walk to the gym and not get stuffed in your locker every day. And I was like, hey man, like, I'm sorry you went through that. Like, that must have been really hard. Like, maybe get some walks out in nature this week. Like, I could relate to what it was, but I didn't understand why he was coming out at me at all.
So is your initial reaction to someone shit talking? I'm going straight for boxing. I'm old school Irish. This is how we fucking handle our disputes.
No, like Pete's like 6'1" or something. If Pete came at me, I don't think I'm a lock to beat Pete at all. Like, Pete would probably be a favorite. I would not challenge him. I thought Adam was looking for me to get goaded into a bet he thought he was a lock-in, which is probably like cash games. So I gave something that if he's going to be this big alpha doing that, I gave him something I knew I was a lock-in against him and said, great, big man. You want a box? I'll fly out tomorrow. We can book it, whatever. And now, of course, if he's playing so much action, he might not care about the 100K, which I would. And it'd probably be good for his health to like, get in shape anyways. So I don't know. I don't think it was the best count.
Let's be honest. Nothing was ever going to happen. That just in the same way, Siege and Draft Cheat are never going to box.
I would though. I would have flown out.
No, I think Draft Cheat would get in the ring with Siege too, but like it's just never going to happen. It is interesting to think about you, Liam, and why you just completely unprovoked that him coming after you like that. And I'm trying to think, what is it about you that massively tilts people?
I have 3 theories. Theory 1 is kind of what I said, like the drunk. Theory 2 is I reached out to Brian and Pete. I said, hey, would love to come on, like enjoy the content. Brian said, well, do you have any beef in the industry? So maybe Adam is a deep plant from Brian and Pete. Theory 3 is maybe like BetMGM, these big casinos, they hate that I'm giving out all these winners. So they're sending Adam to try to snuff my 100 view a week betting show. And again, like Adam said like 4 takes to me about the NFL through like best ball. They've all been wrong. Like I drafted with him in a BBM 3 and he like tagged me in a tweet. He's like, new idea I'm workshopping because I went Steph Diggs in the first round and Josh Allen in the second round. It was my last BBM 3. And I knew I was getting unique on the field. And so he's like, I think it's like the most plus EV thing in the world to draft with next to Liam. I'm in first in that BBM 3, by the way, and Adam is not in the playoffs. And then I know he like hates Gabe Davis, is in on like Terry McLaurin and all them. So I was like, dude, you've given like 4 NFL takes. You're a math guy. You're not an NFL take guy. And the thing that like looks bad, he's like, you're not meant for this space or something like this like industry. It's like, dude, the industry is content and being entertaining. Like, I don't know what he fucking thinks the industry is.
Well, and I think that's what was so bizarre about it is Adam's a really good shit poster on Twitter. You have a good troll voice on there. Like, we all like a little fun trolling on Twitter.
But this was not trolling.
It was so aggro that it just like it made everyone uncomfortable in like a really weird way. I was like, wait, what is going on here?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, people were commenting like, what does Liam do? Like, what is this? But like he tried to like segue, I think, a little bit after I was like calmly saying things like, hey man, I used to be a teacher, like I can relate, like go for a walk in nature. He's like I think he tried to like get a little bit more trolly. And to me, it was so clearly not like, I think that was disingenuous. I think he was very heated. I think yeah, whatever. Maybe he was in first on. Someone said that he was like in first in Yahoo, whatever. Probably tilting the slate. Came at me like it was not like fun trolling like so clearly like once it was like it was bizarre. I don't know. Like you'll have to ask Adam, and like I think he deleted some of the shit he said. But it is what it is. Like I still like Adam. I think he's a nice guy. Like if I met him at a live final, I would not be like, "Fuck you, dude." I'd be like, "That was weird," but I can move forward from that.
If I could just defend Adam for a second, your initial tweet was way out of line, and whatever it was, something about the Bills. Like I don't know how you could put that out there on Adam. That I thought it was kind of funny. But it is interesting. Like he must not like you. You know what I kind of thought too. I was like, man, I wonder if there's people who like really hate me and they just are waiting to let loose on me.
Den says his 2 cents is Adam has been touting for years and doesn't like that Liam wins BBM2 and all of a sudden thinks he's a master tout. But I would also say Liam has never presented himself as a tout. The way I view Liam, I think Liam's a very good player, but I think he is a hot take artist. Like that is what you like doing on Twitter. Like that's I don't find you trying to be like, I'm touting this and I want you to follow and then tell me how good I am when my picks hit.
Yeah, like I don't think like I'm not the best DFS or even probably good at DFS. I think I am good at best ball. And I mean, like I think maybe it's the way I speak about things. Like I doubt Adam's watching my content though. Like obviously when you speak about something, like I'm a teacher, man. Like I'm trying to teach the audience. Like I'm not trying to say like this is right and everyone who doesn't think this way is an idiot. Like I don't know. Like, but yeah, it was bizarre, but all press is good press, man. When you're 60 view a week, and by, like my cousin, who's like, he's like caught up in this. He's like, what the hell is going on with this like mental midget right now? Like,
I don't know why he would care about your whatever you want to call it, rise in followers and stuff like that. Like, seriously, he works for a company. He's got a bunch of followers. He's gotten years in the business. What does he care that you got? So I don't think that's it. I don't know. Maybe he was
This is the thing about the beefs in general. Both people involved in them are the losers and everyone else is the winner because they get the popcorn, they get to enjoy it. And then everyone's like, you guys are being so petty and look silly going back and forth on Twitter.
I mean, I feel like if you read what I said, like I'm not the only thing that I think if you're from the sidelines could be like, what is this dude talking about? It's like, I'll box you for 100K. And that's why I wanted to add context to that is that was me trying to goat him into a bet I thought I was a lock for, like it was not me being like, I'm the toughest dude behind a keyboard. Like that, I don't think
you're going to have to expect those. That happened a lot when any of these fake fights pop up with like draft cheat. Is you'll see guys replying like, I'll fucking fight you for 5K. Yeah. And then you look at the guy's profile. It's like former professional MMA fighter, 83, 6'8", jacked full of roids. It's like, of course you would. They're two dumb DFS players. They're not going to fight you, asshole. They just want to like
appeal of this is not to watch a good fight. It's to watch two people who should never be fight each other. That's the
and I'm worried like maybe Adam's going to go off to like the dojo for 3 years, come back at me.
Yeah.
And then be like having trained all this time.
It has happened once. Liam, you might be too young to remember. It happened in poker once. Do you remember that fight with what was his name?
It was Olivier Bousquet.
Olivier Bousquet, and what was his name? JC Alvaro.
Who like does MMA and shit. Olivier Bousquet. My kids actually played him in chess in New York City. He plays quite a bit.
Yeah, he had a real fight against another poker player back in the day, and he came in jacked. Like the guy was not expecting it. And the other guy, JC Alvaro, someone in chat probably knows. I can't remember his name.
That was
he was I'm assuming a jiu-jitsu something because he came in with a gi and tried to do some leg locks and stuff, but it didn't work out so hot. I actually kind of didn't. After a while, I'm like, he's a little too big for this guy. That's not fair. But it has happened.
It's happened in chess too, but like it's so sad watching these fights, like Hikaru Nakamura and Eric
this one was
Hansen
pretty
fighting.
good.
Like I know Olivier Bousquet. I mean, I don't know him well. Like my kids played him in chess, but like that guy would fuck a dude up. Like I believe that.
Well, the crypto guys got it together. They had the boxing match in Dubai. I think that was in the spring. They organized that. They had like a main card and 2 undercards of crypto influencers fighting each other. It just takes like immense organization, and then you do have to get like licensed for this stuff too. Like if you're doing it in the States, that's why they went to Dubai, because it's just lawless out there. So it would have taken a lot of organization for you guys to get a fight together.
I don't know.
Right.
What would you guys have done in my shoes?
Would
you have ignored this? I think I handled it pretty fine for being pretty drunk myself.
I would not have offered 100K. I usually just roll a boat. Fuck with
you
guys.
were fine. I mean, you were definitely, you have like 2 choices when someone comes at you that aggro. You just go like full troll. I'm not taking this seriously. I'm not indulging it. Or you're like, all right, if you actually are challenging me, I'll call your bluff, which is the route you took. I probably just don't ever get to them 100K boxing match and just.
Well, you're a dad, man. You're a mature dude. Like I just turned 30, no kids yet. We're getting there, you know.
No, I mean I appreciate it. It was a lot of people were enjoying that on.
I
on
did.
Sunday night.
A lot of people did say like lost a lot of money in DFS, but at least I got this. So happy we could supply the community.
I think you guys should just fight.
Well, I mean, look, if he wants to do 15K, 5K, whatever, like.
Did these guys fight again? I swear he had a gi in this fight, and
Dude,
I
look at Olivier just fucking ripped.
Look
to
how
the gills.
ripped.
How do they know that one dude's down like HGH?
Well, wouldn't be HGH. That'd be
Well, the guy did accuse Olivier of that after. That was like a whole subplot.
Yeah, I mean, Olivier
he had to be juicing.
Ridiculous right here.
This is not the fight I remember. Did they fight twice?
JC doesn't look actually that bad. He's clearly like 25 pounds lighter though. Like
yeah, he was way undersized. Yeah, he caught him there.
Oh, he's done.
I swear I remember this fight.
There's a lot of people watching that.
Oh yeah, it was big. It was a big deal.
And I posted my weight on Twitter but Adam would not. So I don't know.
There's 2 things when DFS touts go at each other. There's current weight and there's ideal fighting weight. Those are 2 different things.
Oh, I would get a trainer, man. Like I've not done a fucking boxing match or wrestling.
If you're 163 now, then what would you get down to?
Well, I would guess Adam's heavier than me.
Yeah, I'm talking about you. What would you want to fight at? In a perfect
as
world.
heavy as he wants. I could add weight easily to my frame.
Are you just gonna juice to the gills? Put on some.
No, definitely not juice. I don't even eat meat, dude. Like I'm
see, this is why you're not going to win at DFS. You gotta juice, kid.
I did buy some weights though, so getting back in the gym. I mean, I played rugby in college. Like Adam wants to do this, let's book it.
Let's wrap this up by. I mean, if we're gonna have Liam on. King Sun Run here, Mr. Bink himself. Granted, we don't have the Bills on this slate, but Brian, I think we need to both combo the stars and our astrological signs with Liam's sun running good luck and win $1 million tonight. Or
I'm always down to steal some of that sun run juju off
Let's do it.
These suckers.
Isn't it usually a mill on Thursday? Like
they dropped it.
What the hell?
Wow.
Like the first fun game. Like, can DraftKings to understand that's just because it was the fucking Broncos games that people were not like going all in?
I'm sure they have their reasons. They might be think that's all they can fill.
Rough.
Let's you get the captain honors, Liam, and tell us your thought process behind this, whether it is astrological.
Well, my thought process is I'm trying to my monitor just got screwed up. I'm trying to not play outside wide receivers against the Cardinals. So I'm like Xing out Chris Olave. Now kind of hard when he's like the only real NFL wide receiver on that team, but like trying to play more of the Juwan Johnsons, more of the Camaras, more of the kickers, the Ds. The Cardinals interior O-line is a disaster. So like I'm trying to play a lot of Saints D too, even though they're without what's his face. But let's chuck Hopkins in the captain.
Hopkins captain. All right.
Yeah.
Coming back in a big way. He dropped his return mixtape video on Twitter.
I mean, we just saw Bousquet on Juice. We know Hopkins got caught for Juice. So like that helps you, right?
Allegedly.
All right, Brian. I don't know.
Kyler Murray is a Leo.
Okay.
I don't know what that does for you,
It does something for me. I'll tell you
we
that
could,
much.
that was is a Raven activating those anal beads real quick.
I mean, what point in life did I get to where uttered on a show a reference to a Raven anal bead signaling a play to me as we build a showdown lineup? My life is out of control.
All right, we'll read one horoscope. How about? Okay.
Is Winston backing up tonight and Dalton starting again?
I believe that's what we're getting.
Yeah. Jeez.
Okay, for Ryan Hodge, here's your horoscope. You'll feel a shift as the moon leaves your sign and enters Virgo this morning. Dear Leo, putting you in a more grounded and methodical headspace. This luminary placement is perfect for moving at your own speed, as long as you don't lose focus on your tasks and responsibilities. You may also notice that your senses are heightened, elevating your palate while giving you a taste for the finer things in life. Don't feel guilty about having expectations, especially when it comes to spending your hard-earned cash. Just don't overspend.
So he's expecting to like fix the offense with Hopkins back.
Right. That's what I got. And you're not overspending by putting him in the captain, but you are just getting him at a good value here in the flex. I like that.
Okay. That was a pretty good sign, honestly.
I will continue, like, if we're going to work off of Liam's premise that Olave is getting shut down, then we're gonna play Juwan Johnson over the middle. He's gonna go 6 for 60 and find the end zone and just be a smash at 3K.
Boom.
That's our run back.
So far, now it's back to Liam to bring this home.
I think Keontae Ingram's gonna get some run with like Eno being totally unable to like jam in the middle, and like Keontae's kind of a bigger guy. Like, I don't know, man. Eno was very unimpressive against the Seahawks. Like, he's going to be the pass catching. He's going to get a lot of work, but Keontae should see the field a little bit more. Him or like Trey McBride are like the fun punt pieces, I feel. Do we have a lean between those two? Let's chuck Keontae in.
All right. I like it. Got to get my my Eno Benjamin hedge book going. Here it is. Back to you, Brian.
I was going to take Taysom Hill, but he's awesome. And
I think we have to play Taysom Hill, guys.
Well, here's the problem. He's a Virgo, and part of his horoscope today says you might enjoy this day by being lazy, Pete.
Ooh, lazy on the sideline, not getting too many snaps.
Yeah. So,
okay.
Taysom Hill doesn't seem like a lazy type of guy, but it's in his horoscope, so it has to be true.
Mm-hmm.
I'll pass on him.
Okay.
Who's I don't even know who's playing. Is Connor playing?
No. We're gonna find out. It sounds like he's on the wrong side of questionable.
Because Benjamin fucked me on Sunday.
Yeah, that's why we're playing Ingram. Yeah.
Martingale his ass down.
Okay, you could play. That would be very unique, I think, to play both Ingram and Eno in the same.
That always ships on Showdown, the double running back.
Yeah, all right, you heard it here first.
Are you okay with tight ends and kickers, though, too, right? I mean, what happened in the last few weeks has to continue happening throughout the rest of the season, statistically.
I'm sorry. I just love the idea of the Run Peer dudes listening to your horoscopes and tilting that when they came at Pete.
I don't know why anyone would tilt this kind of content. I mean,
that was a great troll, honestly, by Big T. Where I think you're talking about his tweet where he said, "Don't listen to the astrology bros" or something.
I think it was actually what Hoop said. He said, like, he said in his like thing there, he's like, "I can't believe you're listening. Do you want to listen to winners or do you want to listen to people doing astrology and shit?" I was like, "So my man's watching."
Yeah, I think Big T said,
I think the premise checks out, though. I mean, people either have money for a LOL Showdown subscription or they have money for a $1,500 a year Run RPS subscription. And it's kind of, you got to pick one or the other, That's how
you get a wide range of guests. That 1 milli makers on LOLs.
All right. So we have 11.9 left. I think we definitely, we got to be.
Kamara?
I mean, it could be, do we have a choice here?
I mean,
it's Kamara or Taysom, right?
Right.
Or we just like lay the salary like
You play like Rondell Moore and just like
like
leave a
the
ton.
like the
Rondell-
kickers over
yeah.
Justin Herbert would have shipped on the Monday night game. Like I don't know.
That's a lot of salary.
I think
It
Kamara
is.
is the play because we're not playing the outside wide receivers.
This has to be fairly unique, I would
I
still
think you're
right?
you're probably good. I haven't even looked at ownership percentages, but so like what's Hopkins probably like 7% captain? I have no idea.
I would guess
He-
like 15 to 20.
No. He'll be a lot less. I can look at early. I had pulled it in earlier today. Let me look at.
Who's eating?
Let me look at my astrology sheet.
Kamara and Murray.
I got it here.
I am seeing the top captains are going to be Kyler at
9%.
17%, Kamara at 15%, then Rondell, then Olave, then Hopkins. So he'll be the 5th most popular captain.
Yeah, I'm seeing like 9%. That's not too bad.
Will you I'm going to submit this for all 3 of us. Liam, you do just have to send me $5 via Venmo after the show. And will you beg people not to dupe us here?
Guys, please don't dupe me. I need this 33% of the $5 I'm sending Pete. Actually, I'm gonna send Pete 501 just in case there's any legality questions after.
Sharp.
That's usually my play. Guys, do not dupe this team. It does not help you.
No,
Yeah,
it doesn't.
I don't
But
care what Adam Shit My Money says about you. Okay, you're a good guy. I like that.
That you're a
Thanks,
nice
guys.
guy. This is the thing. I'll say this. You either can't dupe us or you have to have a Lulz avatar if you're going to submit this lineup.
Or submit like 150 of this team. Like we're trying to get the train that just like
we need
bankrupts
a
everyone
marketing
else.
train.
Yeah,
Yep,
marketing train.
exactly.
That'll the numbers will just pour in after that.
So I have down below, I got Liam's YouTube channel tagged. You have been promising chess content for about 6 months, just like you promised us a YouTube channel for months. You did finally deliver on that, though.
Well, let's talk about that. So, like for the chess,
we don't have that much time to talk about this.
I was going to ask advice from my 2 advisors. If we gotta go, we gotta go though. I was thinking like clearly best ball is gonna be that channel, but like the chess, I was thinking like starting a new channel name and not having this like jungled like football chess thing. Like
You have to ask yourself this, Liam. Do you want people who are fans of the Liam experience to be your audience, or do you want to try to play niche content game and court people who are only interested in chess?
I just think it's going to be like a chess fitness combination. And I think that just it's so much easier to grow that. Like, it's just real tough to grow.
But how much honest overlap? To me, if you're going a chess fitness hybrid, then you're selling people on the Liam experience. I don't know, like how many chess people are going to be interested in
chess. That's like a fire name right there. You know,
you can still rename your channel that. From what I'm hearing from you, I think you should keep it all under one umbrella. Give people the full Liam experience. If you're going to go the niche content game, you got to go true niche. Can't be mixing in fucking barbell curls with your Sicilian openings or whatever.
Well, it's not going to be like, it's just going to be like, the theory is going to be like, do an hour of chess a day and do a fitness activity every day because that's good for you and it helps your chess and like probably better than doing chess and just seeing where we can get. And I don't know, maybe I don't even do the fitness shit because like, I don't want to edit this stuff. So.
Well, you also don't want to let your competition know, where your training is at. I feel like that'd be tipping your hand.
That's a good point. But maybe I don't get called out by big accounts if I'm doing that.
Oh, yeah. If you look like Bousquier every day on your channel, just juice to the gills, allegedly, no one's going to be sending those threatening tweets at you.
Liam, it literally was the biggest ordeal of your life to make one YouTube account. Please don't try to make another, man. Just stick to posting on the one. Okay, that's one content creator tip to another. All right, we appreciate Liam coming on. Good luck in your showdown contest.
Subscribe to Lulz.
Subscribe to Lulz. Yes, like the video. Yada yada. Brian, anything else on your end here?
No, sir. Big MMA this weekend. I don't know if you guys pay attention.
Is my guy Sean O'Malley fighting tonight or on this weekend?
Yeah, O'Malley's fighting.
I'm excited about that college wrestler, Bo Nickel or something, who just got a UFC thing.
Is he fighting this weekend?
I don't think he just got a contract though. But whenever he's on a slate, lock him in.
Did you see this, Brian? This lock, 8 a.m. lock for you?
Oh, is
10
it?
a.m. lock
Oh,
for
they're
me?
in Saudi Arabia. I still didn't think it was that
Yeah.
early. Wow.
Ridiculous.
Yeah. All right. There you go. Get up early. Lock in those MMA lineups. We appreciate you guys. We'll see you next time. If you won the Millie Maker and you'd like to be on this show, slide into our DMs. Peace.